Welcome to A Gang of Girls Radio. Join your host, Ariel Grace. Ariel will bring you interviews with the best alternative experts on health and wellness, sustainability, astrology, metaphysics, spiritual, paranormal, and heroes from around the world. Now, here is your host of A Gang of Girls Radio, Ariel Grace. On WGOG Digital Broadcasting.
Good evening, peeps. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net, and it's the Astrology Show with Rockin' Reverend Rhonda. And we're going to be talking about, eclipses. We're going to be talking about Mercury in retrograde. That'll be fun for us. Mercury in retrograde's always, interesting. And we're going to be talking about a lot of different astrological events that have happened and that are happening, and also current events that are happening. So we got a nice show planned for you. If you are surfing the net, you can stop by letstalkradio.net or agangofgirls.com and join us in chat. You can sign in through Facebook, Twitter, or you can sign in as a guest. You can be mysterious. You can ask questions there, meet the peeps that join us, check out the links and our sponsors. So join us in chat. If you have astrology questions for Rockin' Reverend Rhonda, because she likes answering them. She's really good at that. She does that really well. And so I also have some announcements. You can check out our advertising link at letstalkradio.net. We have a great March Madness deal coming on. So go check out our March Madness advertising deal and see what you think. For those people that are looking at selling books or things, whatever you're selling, throw it up there. We have an international and national audience, so you can check that out. Also, I'm still doing $50 Fridays, and so it's $50 for 45 minutes for a reading. And yes, I am doing readings on other days as well. So I'm running this special because a lot of you have asked me for it. You're in transition. You need to be able to talk to me more than once a month. That's fine. So $50 Fridays. Remember to book a couple of days before Friday. Okay? Yes, because Fridays book up. Okay, so Lucy Prophet, Psychic Girl, is a book that I wrote, and she is a psychic that won the Virginia State Lottery. What would you do if you won the lottery? You can check her out. She's got a Kindle Countdown deal going on Amazon. Just look her up, Lucy Prophet, Psychic Girl. Right now, I believe the book is 99 cents. So we also have Fate magazine. The magazines are out. They're hot off the press and almost to your mailbox. Be excited about that. So if you want to check out Fate magazine, you can go to fatemag.com. You can subscribe for the magazine there. There's an e-magazine and a real magazine, that you can hold it in your hands, because we know there are people out there that need to hold things in their hands. So you can grab that. And we're going to be talking first about the eclipses with Rockin' Reverend Rhonda. You can check out Rhonda's website at karmiclaw.com. Okay, check that out, karmiclaw.com. She has all her info there. If you need to book a session with her, book it up. You need to book that up 3 to 5 days in advance, because she is a wild and crazy busy girl. It's hard for me to get her on the phone. It is. And she does the radio show. So, hi, Rhonda.
Hey, girl.
So now we had a crazy February. At least my February was crazy. And then we had the crazy shooting in February.
Yes.
So, you know, and we were talking about the effects of eclipses and how they influence us. And there was a lunar on 131, and then there was a solar on 215. Holy cow.
Correct. Yeah, right. And remember, the last time that I did the radio show, which was January, because if everybody remembers out there in Radio Land, I went away for surgery for a while. Now I'm back.
She's back.
Hey, I'm back.
And she can drive now, so everybody watch out.
Get off the road, sidewalk. Here. But the last time was powerful because we were getting ready for the eclipses and everything. And if you recall what I said, and people go back and listen to that show.
Yes.
Because I said that February and August would be changing months.
And so they are.
You remember that, Ariel?
Yeah, I do.
And I said that would affect us individually and collectively.
Yes.
And there's two reasons why I mentioned that on the last show. Here's the very first reason why February and August are changing months. The very first reason is out in the universe, we have to look at where the current dragon's head and tail are. Because wherever they are residing is what's being influenced. Okay. For example, right now, the dragon's head is in Leo, which represents the month of August. That's how I arrive with the month of August as another changing month. The dragon's tail is in February. Okay.
Oh.
And that's, see what I'm saying? And that is just the beginning. That's just the beginning of the change. And then we had the eclipses on top of this, okay, which amplified that. And I'd like to say that about the dragon's head and tail because that happens to be one of the tips I give people. It's like, how do you know, Reverend Rhonda, when the changing months are? I mean, where do you come up with that? So I'm letting you know where it comes from. And the second reason was why I said February is because of the eclipse. And we routinely experience two kinds of eclipses most people know about, and that's the lunar and the solar eclipse, right?
Right.
And we got an eclipse of the moon, an eclipse of the sun, and these two eclipses, in a sense, create what is called a shadow. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more as we go here. It's very important. So like Ariel said at the very beginning of the show, we had what was called a lunar eclipse, which was on January 31st.
Yes.
And lunar represents the moon. And the moon represents our individual and collective subconscious. Okay? Those things that may be hidden away from us or tucked or repressed or pushed down. And these can be problems or issues or circumstances that may show up in repeating patterns or in your dreams at night. Sometimes you can have an experience and it resurfaces. You'll like bump your arm kind of thing, and you'll feel it. You'll notice it. Okay. So if the moon is the subconscious and we got things that are tucked away, hidden that we don't quite want to look at, these eclipses affect that. That's for the individual people. Then we got the collective too. And so during the lunar eclipse, things that are tucked away may want to bubble up, you know, like the pebbles that go into the water and you see the bubbles come up from the bottom of the ocean.
Yes.
That's what's happening with us. It's being stimulated. It's being tapped. It's being touched by these eclipses. So for humans, you know, we want to clean up our old wounds and including past lives. When Ariel and I were talking about the eclipses the other day, you know, she brought that up and it was absolutely spot on. We're also cleaning out and filtering out old stuff.
Right.
And so I'm glad you brought that up. And this is when it's affected. This too could be a time when that's being stirred up. And
right. So, yeah. Because I last month, it was like around the first week of February, I stopped writing my Lucy Prophet book, the third one, and because I really wanted to get it done, and it's almost done, but I had this urge, like I could not resist it, to write this book that I'd been thinking about for a while, which is a past life of mine. And it was a interesting past life from 1929. And the thing I feel like triggered it was February 14th, because it did have a lot to do with the St. Valentine's Massacre in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I had to absolutely stop finishing up Lucy's book to write this other book. So, and that book's halfway done now.
Wow. So hear that, people. See how it affects you? And people, you know, it's amazing how the astrological influences really influence us. They do influence us.
Right.
And you're probably sitting there like, where did that come from?
Right.
You know, why now? So you started writing that way before the February 14th?
Right. I started writing it about, it was probably the around the first week of February.
Yep. So right after the January 31st,
right.
You know, lunar.
The lunar. Yeah. And so, and I was just like, you know, I stayed focused on it. I'm I would say about halfway through right now, the rough draft. Mm-hmm. And it's a past life that I had in Chicago. And, I had to I'd been thinking about and I was actually thinking about writing this. It's going to be a novel. It's a short story. And, I thought about writing it after I finished up Lucy's book, but I could not, I just couldn't write it. Every time I'd sit down to write Lucy's book, I'd get nothing.
Mm-hmm. How about that?
Nothing. Yeah. And I'm like, hey, where'd it go?
Truly.
But it wanted, you know, I was just guided to do this. And it's a good thing too, because I was clearing out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and so I kept thinking, okay, well, I started this, so it's got to be triggered by February 14th. And this was way before, you know, it was a week before, the February 14th shootings.
Yeah.
You know, so that hadn't even happened yet. It was just triggered by that. And I was just like, we were coming up on that anniversary, and I was like, okay, all right, so let's do this and we'll figure it out from there. But it's turned out to be pretty good little mob life.
Are you, our mobster, you know, queen here. It's like, do you feel like, though, that by writing it, has it been cathartic? Like you are releasing, you know?
Yeah, it does. It feels like, because every time I would take the train in from Naperville to Chicago, I would feel like chills whenever we went through Cicero. Because you have to go through Cicero in order to get to Chicago. And so I would always feel like, oh God, I hate this city, you know, and I don't think I ever was actually in Cicero on purpose, you know, and, I avoided it. And so, and there's an area, right before Cicero, it's right after Cicero, right before you pull into Chicago, where you see all the train tracks and the trains and stuff like that. And that's another place that would give me the heebie-jeebies too. Yeah, because it was just like, ugh. Yikes.
So in a way, your soul is remembering something on some vibrational level.
Yep.
And whether it's a fear or a sadness, I mean, and to me, those are like a deja vu in a sense.
It was very much a deja vu.
And it's like, where's this coming from? Because it doesn't seem like it's from current time. So I encourage people through our eclipses and things like that, and even during Mercury retrograde. We'll talk about that more. But it's really a good time to filter these things and allow it to come up. That's why I use the analogy of like, you throw a pebble in a pond and you see the ripples, you know, and the bubbles that come up from the bottom. And this is what it's trying to do. And when we get to the news segment, the same thing is happening. Things that are hidden away from us, government, whatever, da-da-da-da-da. That's what the lunar part does. It's like it goes underground, and the whole idea is to bring it back up during the solar. It's to be revealed to you. That's what it's trying to do. That's its job to help you with. And depending on the individual person, it's how we process or cope with or deal with these eclipses and what they're meant to do, what they're supposed to do. Not everybody, can handle them either.
Well, and eclipse energy doesn't it last for a couple of months?
From January, like for this one, this was the January 31st to February 15th. That was only a couple of weeks.
Right.
I can give everybody a heads up for another round of eclipses if you want me to give you dates. I have that.
Yeah, that would be good.
So
everybody get your calendars out. Mark this down.
Yeah. And it's kind of an interesting thing. So this one might last a little longer, but you got a July 12th where we're having a partial eclipse, okay? Then on July 27th, we'll have a lunar eclipse. And then on August 11th, we're going to have another partial solar eclipse. So we're kind of going underground, underwater, subconscious, back up and down. So you're going to have a wave of that from July 12th to August 11th.
Wow. Because I just did an energy wave blog. Yeah. And because a lot of people ask me like, oh, God, February is horrible. The energy went flat. And I'm like, well, yeah, energy went flat in February, but it starts to build up around March 7th and it continues to build and through April, May, and then it crests and then it pulls back a little bit and then it comes back. It starts to build again, through June, July, and then it crests and then we start to balance out a little bit more. So those people were asking like, when can I start new stuff, or when can I, start giving out things or start this business or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I wrote it, because February just flattened out for a lot of people, especially financially. They were like, what happened?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So. I know. And that's why I said, and not everybody was totally affected, but I did say February was definitely going to be a changing month. And we'll get into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But to me, it truly was. I don't know how anybody could miss this.
No.
In February. But, but the lunar part, let me just say, so the lunar is like what we call like the subconscious and the dark part, where the solar eclipse that happened on February 15th, which means the light. That's what it's trying to do is come to light.
Right.
And the information or an old situation or past life and all of that. And maybe what you have been experiencing now has a new light on the matter. I mean, there's just many ways that this can be brought up and brought forth. The idea is to bring it to light for healing, for, getting over it and moving on, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
the next time I go up to Chicago and I'm riding the train and I pass Cicero, I won't feel like, I won't feel like, yikes.
I hope it doesn't affect you. If anything, say, hey, I'm going to go find out where, where's my stash? Where's the money?
Well, I do actually know where some stuff is buried.
Oh my God.
I do. I was looking at, I looked at it. I did. But the only thing is I checked out the area, and it changed, of course. And one of the places where I actually did stash, some jewels was underneath, it's at a cemetery and it's underneath a building.
Oh my gosh.
So the building was built over it. I'm like, oh, we'll be getting to that, So anyway, when we come back, we're going to be talking more about the news, Parkland, Florida, how the eclipses influenced that. What's a shadow person, astrologically speaking? So stay tuned. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net.
our scheduled programming to bring you the following conspiracy theory. Humpty Dumpty was pushed. WGOG DB Clearwater. Let's talk. Shopping, dining, beautiful lakes and rivers, and a monster? Welcome to Braxton County, West Virginia. Centrally located, Braxton County, West Virginia is the ideal place to visit. Natural beauty and recreation abound with 2 beautiful lakes for easy kayaking and canoeing, and many hiking trails. Did we mention the Flatwoods Monster? That's right. Visit Braxton County, West Virginia's Flatwoods Monster Museum and not only learn about the Flatwoods Monster, but walk in the same footsteps as the people who witnessed it. Nearly all of our attractions can be found within a few miles of Interstate 79. Visit us online at braxtonwv.org. That's braxtonwv.org. Braxton County, West Virginia. Center yourself here. Nothing feels better than a good cleanse to wash away the day. If you think that refreshes you, then experience the ultimate cleanse with Soaps by Susan. Cleansing Spiritually LLC uses only pharmaceutical-grade essential oils, all-natural shea butter, coconut oils, and vitamin E, and tailored toward the ultimate cleanse. Susan uses a skin-safe fragrance with an aroma that brings a smile to your face and takes you to that happy place within. Each bar is handcrafted and custom to order, so it not only cleanses the soul, but also matches your room's decor. Cleansing Spiritually soap makes great gifts, or you can just indulge yourself for a spiritual cleansing you'll never forget. You want some now, don't you? We thought so. Contact Susan Todd to place your custom order at facebook.com/spiritually. Don't settle for clean. Get spiritually clean at facebook.com/spiritually. If you've ever wondered what your dog, cat, bird, or any other animal is thinking or trying to tell you, now's the time to crack their code. Make this year the year you learn telepathic animal communication and begin using the intuitive and psychic abilities we all have to connect with other species. The free website Speak Good Human is the perfect place to start. Speak Good Human is the internet's largest free animal communication practice site. It features tips, advice, how-tos, and more than 100 animals ready to help you practice and build your skills through telepathic conversation. And each February and August, you can join the thousands of other learners worldwide for the Animal Communication Practice Challenge, when you'll get daily encouragement, inspiration, and camaraderie as you pursue your dream of talking with animals. Get in on the conversation at www.talktoanimals.weebly.com. That's talktoanimals.weebly.com. Or Google Speak Good Human. Not only will your companion animals thank you, but you'll finally be able to hear it. If you call other talk stations, all you get is,
"Hello, we're sorry, but no one is available to answer your call at this time."
But at Let's Talk Radio, we're here for the best talk, news, and information 24 hours a day. Hear it here first, or find out about the alien invasion tomorrow from someone else. Depend on us. Let'sTalkRadio.net.
"23 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on Let'sTalkRadio.net. And tonight is the Astrology Show with the rockin' Reverend Rhonda. And she is going to rock our worlds tonight because she's got lots of info for you. And if you need to take some notes, get your notebooks out, write some dates down. Remember, we are archiving the show, so you can listen to it again. I'll be putting up the links on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google+. So you'll be able to go to that archive and listen to the show again if you need to. So we're talking about February and how February's energy is, affected us, and what can we look forward to in March. So we've been talking about the lunar and solar eclipses. Now, during the lunar and solar eclipses on February 14th, there was a huge shooting in Parkland, Florida. And I have a couple of things to say about the shooting in Parkland, Florida. All right. I'm sorry that it happened. There's a lot of people that dropped the ball on this one, in order to stop it. But if you check out the kids that are working this, that are going for new laws, because we do have some antiquated gun laws and they do need to be updated. We do need to look at who owns guns. And maybe if they're a danger to other people, we can fix that to where this won't happen again. And we can also fix those judges and FBI agents and other law people too who don't follow up, because there was no follow up on this guy and he was red flagged. So these are all things. These kids are our future leaders.
Yes.
And so, and for sure, because I've felt the kids coming up and I've felt them, I've felt our leaders coming out. And so here they are. So please, respect them and please, assist them in any way, whether it's through good information or your support or whatever it is, because from these kids that are leading, there will be other kids that will join them that will lead. And if you are in Washington, D.C., march with them. March with them, because there's a lot of peeps that are talking outside their mouth. That's what my gran used to say. You talking outside your mouth. So there's a lot of people talking outside their mouth right now, and they need to be, they need to start talking straight. And I'm not just talking like politicians. I'm talking about other people as well. Lots of people. So, if we can put some, better things going on there, it would help. And it would protect our children, which is our future, which are our beloveds. Right?
Protecting our kids is very, very important.
Right.
And what we saw on our TV screen that day was something, unfortunately, that we have seen before. Okay? And as I mentioned earlier, we notice our outdated patterns. Like we were talking about the eclipses, we're seeing patterns, just like ourselves individually, and the eclipses are trying to work them out. Well, here's our collective situation. Us as a world, as a nation, as a collective people, we're seeing something play out once again on our TV screens that we've seen before. And It's horrific and it's sad. So it is a pattern that we have seen with our own eyes. And at the same time, as you said, things were being revealed to us that were not being taken care of. So this is that lunar and solar. There were things brought up during this that we didn't know about the first day, the very day of the shooting. We didn't know that one of the school kids had called the FBI, and I actually listened to the entire audio tape of that discussion, and nobody did nothing about it.
Right. They dropped the ball.
I just could have passed out right there, just hearing this young girl say, what can I do? And who should I call? And nothing was done. So, like you said, there's so many red flags that can actually preempt.
Rhonda, we're going to hop off to a break real quick, and we'll be right back, y'all. So stay tuned for A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net.
In a world of many voices, there's just one that needs to be heard. Yours. Join the conversation at letstalkradio.net. Haunted, a psychic story by author and radio host Ariel Grace. This is not your average book of hauntings. Haunted, a psychic story is written from a psychic perspective and contains true stories and some handy tips. Written in 3 parts, Haunted, a Psychic Story contains chilling adventures, advice from the archangels, and helpful tips used by Ariel Grace to clear haunted homes around the globe. Haunted, a Psychic Story is available on Amazon, or you can download straight to your Kindle. Haunted, a Psychic Story by Ariel Grace. Get your copy today.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has delivered a one-of-a-kind reading experience covering everything from psychics, UFOs, paranormal investigations, and more. To subscribe, visit fatemag.com or call 828-702-3032. That's 828-702-3032. Subscribe and find your true reports of the strange and unknown at fatemag.com.
Here in the United States, our freedom and safety are made possible through the service and sacrifice of our military, first responders, and their families. The Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through concerts and festivals at bases around the globe, community outreach programs across the country, and building brand new custom smart homes for our most severely wounded veterans. Find out how you can join the cause. Donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
While the other stations are run from high-rises in the city, we're programmed from a little bungalow on Windtree Drive. Let'sTalkRadio.net.
"31 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on Let'sTalkRadio.net, and it's the Astrology Show, peeps. We're talking astrology, and Rockin' Reverend Rhonda was just talking about how the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse kind of like affected our whole February. And we were just talking about the shooting that happened in Parkland, and we were she was talking to me about this the other day, and I thought it was very interesting. She was talking about astrologically shadow people, or, you know, the shadow time that happens for people. So, what exactly does that mean, Rhonda?
Well, and I hope everybody can hear me. So
yes.
If you can hear me out there, okay, great. So let's just kind of go back, and I'm going to give you a definition of what the solar eclipse, very brief sentences,
okay, and
lunar eclipse. So, and then I'm going to bridge it with what I mean by shadow work. It's called shadow work. We all have what we're trying to work our shadow work within ourselves. But here's the solar eclipse. So when that is happening, the moon passes between the earth and the sun. And the moon blocks the light of the sun, and a shadow of the moon is cast on the earth's surface. So you hear the word shadow in that.
Right.
Okay. And for the lunar eclipse, as the earth orbits the sun, it comes between the sun and the moon. The earth comes between the sun and the moon. And when this happens, the earth throws a dark shadow across the moon. Okay. So people look up and they see the little shadow and that kind of thing. So now, as above, so below. It's happening in our, up in the heavens, and it's happening to us on a different level.
Right.
Okay. So on Valentine's Day, the shooter was experiencing his natal chart and the eclipses, which that was its shadow. He was having his own shadow situation going on. Which amplified things. So a shadow person, remember when I said a while ago that our eclipses create a shadow effect? We humans have a shadow side to ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. So the shadow is a term coined by the psychologist Carl Jung, and it refers to like our deepest wounds, the wounds that have us believing we're bad, we're flawed, or unlovable or undeserving. And it's like we push that away. We stifle it. We shove it down. We don't want to look at it. We even pretend that it doesn't even exist. Okay? So this happens to all of us. We all have those shadow sides. And that's what's happening during the eclipse is these are being tapped. These are being, worked on.
Right.
Like you, Ariel, with your story. All of a sudden you had to go type it from your past life.
Right.
And yeah, it shows up in our emotions, our circumstances, past lives, you name it. That's what was happening. And for this shooter, the same thing was happening to him. And it's like, this is how it affected him on a psychological level. He had to go act it out.
Right.
Okay.
It was so strong.
It was so strong. Now, I asked somebody on chat to go find his birthday because I couldn't find it. And Mike actually found it. And I brought up his chart already.
Oh.
Yeah, oh, my gosh. So I said that February and August would be changing months. And people who've been tuning into this show have known I've been talking about the dragon's head out in the universe,
yep.
which resides in Leo, right?
Yep.
And the tail's in Aquarius.
Yep.
That's what this kid was born with.
Wow.
In his subconscious, he's born September 24th, 1988. So it's public knowledge. Okay. So he has Mars, and Mars is in his subconscious mind, and Mars rules guns and weapons.
Right.
It sits in his 12th house of subconscious.
Ooh.
He has the dragon's head in Leo in the 12th house. Somehow he wanted to bring fame to his name, not on a good way. Not in a good way.
Right.
But this is all his 12th house, and we're talking about the subconscious here as we talk about the shadow side of ourselves, things that we repress, push back, as we say, oh, it's in the back of my head somewhere. Yeah, it's pushed away all right. That was that's his natal chart, sitting in his natal chart. So the influence of the eclipse and these energies affected him. And not in a way, we all could have the exact same birthday, but we would not go act on this. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
We would be using it to the greater good of all people.
Right.
This kid could not. He could not. So, and plus he was born with Moon in Scorpio. He has a lot of different things going on. And this tells me, for people who ask me about astrology charts, he's a newcomer to the world. Old souls really don't go do this kind of stuff. They know better. They know what karma means.
Right.
Right?
Got to keep that balanced.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think so. I ain't going over this again. No.
Right.
But that's my opinion. This kid, unfortunately, is a new soul and a newcomer, and he could not handle these energies. Could not.
Right.
So that's my take on him.
Well, now, because he affected so many people. Like, yes. he did actually bring out of the shadow the people, that maybe are not, like being the best investigators or being the best, people to get news out, the people that dropped the ball. So he brought out into the light.
Yes, he brought the light. Yeah.
Right. So, and he also, with that too, you were talking about Pluto and Capricorn and also Saturn and Capricorn, and how the kids in Pluto and Capricorn, about the kids, the theme of the kids taking charge, and then Saturn and Capricorn, the influence of it. Right.
So let me explain. Let me kind of add something to that, Ariel. I did. If anybody reads my chapter 13, I wrote this many years ago as to what the Pluto and Capricorn children are going to do.
Yeah, they're rocking it.
Okay. They will. But I want to also include the Pluto and Sagittarius kids, okay? Because the Pluto and Sagittarius kids were born between 1995 and 2008. Those are the kids that were shot at, and it includes the kid that did the shooting at Parkland. They're the Pluto and Sagittarius kids, Okay?
Yep.
But Sagittarius, by the way, rules laws.
Yep.
So this generation wants to change the laws.
Yes.
Whereas the Pluto and Capricorn kids are going to change not just laws, but government in the highest form ever. The Pluto and Capricorn kids are just being born since 2008.
Right.
They're about 9 years old now. Okay. But the Pluto and Sag kids, they're the ones that you're hearing speaking now, and they want to change laws, universal laws, man-made laws, and that's what's happening. Those are the kids you're hearing speak right now. But they're influenced by the Pluto in Capricorn energy, which is the change in government. They are influenced by that because that's where we are right now with Saturn in Capricorn, right?
Right.
So I wanted to clarify that just to make sure everybody knows. But these Pluto and Capricorn kids, you watch. They're not in power yet. They're 9 years old. You wait.
Yeah, I can't wait.
These first set of kids, the ones that are coming into power now, will be changing laws. You watch. Gun laws, you name it.
Yeah.
Driving laws, you watch. They're already doing it. Then the ones coming right behind them, they're going to take what the Pluto and Sag is doing and take it up about 5 more notches. Okay? They will. They will be taking that up even to a higher level.
That's so awesome.
And they will. They will get it done, and they're living it, they're breathing it, seeing it, and more than maybe my age. I'm seeing it. Don't think I'm not affected, people, because I am seeing this. This is horrific. But these kids, I can't imagine, you guys, me going to school now.
No.
I couldn't. You know. So you think about Capricorn rules government, Pluto rules death and rebirth. Can you just put those words together? They want to rebirth our government, the Pluto and Capricorn kids.
Well, and I feel like, that it's almost, it's getting to that time. People are restless. People want change.
They do.
Yes. And they need good leadership. And so they need leadership that will be very particular, very, they're going to take things, checks and balances. There's going to be a lot of checking and a lot of balancing, and that'll be cool. I think that's awesome. And I totally support our kids because, as I've said before too, our kids are our future. And so, we gotta stand behind them, whatever they choose, whatever it is that they choose to do, whether it's government, nursing, doctoring, authoring, whatever, because they're going to bring light to the world. And that's the most awesome thing. So I can't wait to see the next, 40 or 50 years because woohoo!
Oh,
everybody
truly.
Watch out.
Truly. Yeah, I wrote about it, and, and when you got Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, we can't help, but we are going to have change. And it's because of these kids we're going to have change. And it's happening. I mean, it's like you said, it's bringing it to light. We're talking about it. Things will be changed. Things will be done. Because of the Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, it will be done.
Yay.
I'm telling you, it will be. And we all might have, our little chatterboxes going, but something's going to be done. And, you can't help it with Pluto. And we talked about this. As we talked about Saturn coming into Capricorn and Pluto in Capricorn, that has been there for a while. But man, that Saturn, it's karmic. It wants to restructure. It's father time. It's wisdom. It's like laying down the law and hard. And I said it would. There's a lot of government restructure that's going on, and I wrote about it, and we even talked about it, I think, in your January show.
Yes, we did. And so, I have, before we get to the spring equinox information, I have a couple of things here from chat. One of them is from Arlene, which is kind of going off the subject, but she wants to know, well, it's on subject too. How is the economy in the U.S. going to be this year?
Well, the U.S. is a Cancer country. We're born July 4th, 1776.
Yep.
So our current dragon's head is affecting our money and our legacy area in the chart. So in a way, you're kind of seeing it. It's like money coming in, money going out. It's time to, and I said Capricorn rules structure and architecture and, buildings and building the wall, you name it. I don't care. I'm not being political. I'm telling you astrologically. That's what's happening. Money's going to come in, people, to our country, but it's also going out. And if you're paying attention, you're kind of seeing that a little bit. We're shelling out all kinds of money, but our legacy area and our home and our second house of money and our eighth house of legacy in the world of being a Cancer country, we are being affected that way. So you're going to see money come in, money go out.
Right.
And just like with our checking account, we got money coming in and it's like, we got a lot going out for buying a new home, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I hope that answers the question, but we're going through a major restructure, roads, buildings, you name it. That's what Capricorn is. It's all about structure and architecture and buildings and all of that stuff.
Right.
So,
well,
we might see an up and down. We're kind of seeing it right now.
Right.
And I said February and August, so it could level out and then, up and down, up and down.
Up and down.
I think overall we can really do good because we have money coming in, but we are trying to take care of different things. I hope that answers the question. It's the way, it looks right now.
Okay. And then we have a comment from Shelley, and she's saying, I work with teachers and support staff. Very different than when I was a teacher 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's what, and it is because I used to volunteer at my son's school when they were young. And I would go in 2 or 3 times a week and do things for the teachers and that. And also my son was in a special Montessori program that they were trying out for a couple of years. And so it is, it is different now than what it was then. And I do feel like
it's very different.
Yeah,
that's
it
what
is.
I said. I don't know, I don't know, I mean, it's got to be so different. Some schools, for me, if I had to walk in, Ariel, and have to put, my backpack on this X-ray machine, like going to, it's like going, to the airport now.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes me sad for our youth that are, that innocence, but we are in a need of change and growing and evolving and doing something better. And it's coming. It's there. Because the stars are already saying so too. It's there. But I mean, it's gotta be different. I don't even know if I can go sit in a classroom. Really. Right. I don't, God love these kids. I'm telling you. And they're so darn articulate and loving, and we got to listen to our kids, people. And especially now the generation I was telling you guys about, the ones that were born between 1995 and 2008. Those are, if I recall, those are our millennials out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to listen to them. We really need to listen. And a lot of people are like, oh, those millennials, nobody wants to. My niece is one,
Yeah. And I work with some millennials, and they, to me, millennial psychic kids, I've worked with them since they were children and coming up and everything. And they're awesome. Yeah.
And my niece is awesome.
They're very tapped in.
Yeah, they are. But they think that we believe they're like disconnected and, they just want to go sit and not do anything. You know what? I'm told as a minister, I hear this all the time. You just said it. We're talking out of both sides of our mouth.
Yep.
That's what the millennials tell us, people. They're telling us what, and that could be with religion. And I'm not putting down religion. I'm a minister. And it's like, they're saying, you say go do one thing, but you're out doing a different thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Come on, people. Come on.
Right. Now, okay, let's talk about the spring equinox. How is that the planet alignment going to affect us here in March?
Well, let's kind of put a little good stuff into our astrological conversation. So the spring equinox is March 20th, where the sun goes into Aries, And depending on where your Aries sits in your chart is where it affects you. So like I'm born in January, so my 4th house of home and family, that's how it affects me. So the sun sitting in my 4th house of home and family. And so we have that day what is called a stellium, which I think I've shared before on your show, where you have 3 or more planets, luminaries, in the same house. So we're going to have the sun, Mercury, Venus, and Uranus all in the sign of Aries.
Wow.
Now, what I like to tell people about Aries, I don't know how much everybody knows about Aries, but Aries is considered the baby of the zodiac. That's the first sign that begins the cycle.
Right.
On it's the baby. So wherever you have Mars or Aries in your chart, it's the baby. It's things you're learning for the first time.
Oh boy.
Really, it's kind of cute. And so you think about spring, right? It's like new and fresh. So, and that's why I like spring, because that's why you think people go and do spring cleaning. Come on. It's time to go into your house. And Mike just put up the chart of what March 20th looks like. That's how I read astrology charts there. So, and the other fun thing about March 20th, guess what? It's International Astrology Day.
Woohoo! That's fancy.
Yeah. Now, why did they choose this day? I don't know.
Because, well, I've always felt this too, is that spring equinox brings, we've gone through the winter. Yes. And the spring equinox brings back our hope.
It does. It does. Spring eternal spring, whatever they call that. Spring eternal, I think, is what it is. And it's true. It's the baby of the zodiac. It's new. It's refreshing. It's, to start over and all of that. Yeah. And hope, all of that. So I encourage people, and here's why I'm going to say what I'm going to say, because we have the moon in Taurus that day. And if you look at the chart, if you're in chat, you'll see the little moon, the little crescent moon in the 3rd house, and it's in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus rules like our home and our possessions, material possessions. So it is a good time to feng shui your home. It's good to start cleaning out your closets and everything. I'm symbolic when I look at and talk about astrology. It's metaphoric, symbolic. I speak it all because it all comes together. So it is a good time to spring clean. And then that allows you to bring in more new energy. If your closet is packed and you can't get one more hanger in your closet, okay? Come on, people. How are you supposed to bring in new energy and good things? It's time to go get rid of it, give it to Goodwill, and let somebody else reap the benefits of your shoes and your coats or whatever. And clean out the old, bring in the new. And Aries is ready for a new season and cycle. So it is a time for a new season and cycle. We'll get into Mercury retrograde because that's happening this month too.
We'll get into Mercury in retrograde in the second hour of the show.
That's the beauty of the spring equinox. And it's cheerful. My mom's birthday is that day. So, I celebrate her spring equinox and her birthday. It's a new time, a new day, and all of that. It's a beautiful. I love the equinoxes and I love the solstices, and I love to celebrate them. I don't know about other people.
I do too.
I truly do. And so, all of you out there, enjoy the infancy, the baby of the zodiac. Really embrace it. Like, I'm getting new blinds for my home. Aries is my home area. I'm getting some new blinds put up in my home, and I'm getting them ordered before Mercury retrograde.
Good. Now, all right. Well, we're going to go to break here in a few minutes, but you do have, I just want to throw this in here. You can check out Rhonda's website at karmiclaw.com. She also blogs, so you can check that out there. She has written a book. The name of it is Sister Sages Astrological Journey. And you're hearing her, some of the references that she is using tonight are references from her book. So if you want to learn about the dragon's head and the dragon's tail. Specifically, this book has a lot of information on it. Also has a lot of information, astrologically speaking, for like the Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn.
Oh, yeah.
Also like Saturn in Capricorn. It has all kinds of good info so that you can understand some of the terminology that she uses. It is in Kindle format and as a book as well. So check that out. You can check it out on Amazon, or you can get a signed copy from Rhonda if you go to karmiclaw.com. And the other thing that is happening is Rhonda has a story in a new book that's coming out. It's called Chocolate and Diamonds for a Woman's Soul. When is that book going to be out, Rhonda?
March 8th. It's actually International Women's Day on March 8th, 2018. Ooh. It should go live at midnight on March 7th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that. So, you want me to mention more about that or after the break?
Yeah, go ahead, and we've got about 4 minutes here, so Go ahead and go for it.
Good, because Chocolate and Diamonds is a collection of stories of many women around the world. I think she was trying to. I think the one that was composing all the stories, Carla Wynne Hall, who is a best-selling author. I think she wanted to have a collection of 100 stories. And these are women sharing about their resilience, their grace, their faith, overcoming a lot of obstacles and challenges in their lives. And that includes me. I'm sharing my story about surviving a very, challenging childhood and stage 3 breast cancer, and my near-death experience. So I talk about and take you through a journey that I went through, and it's powerful. And I'm hoping that everybody could glean some hope or inspiration. And if not for you, then you can share it with someone else. It's very important to me that we share stories to help others through, that may be going through something similar. And so this is going to be for $1 that you can download this book on Kindle if you can, everyone. It's for 99 cents, I believe, or $1. You can download it on Amazon, and it debuts on March 8th, 2018, International Women's Day, which is so powerful because of that day.
And also, if you have a tablet, you can also get the Kindle app, and you can download it to your tablet and then download the book. So 99 cents, 99 cents is a great deal for this book, because I feel like I was looking at the other books that she's compiled as well, and they're like $20 for the book. So 99 cents Kindle book, $20 for the regular book. So if you want to check that book out and you don't have a Kindle, you can always download that free app from Amazon. And then that way you're more able to download Kindle books.
Yeah, and I will be having hard copies of those books in May, and I'm going to be, doing book signings and everything and talks at that time, but not until May. So please take advantage of like Ariel said, how to go and download that. And thank you, Ariel, for saying that. I don't know how all that part is done. But really, I write books, but,
Hey, I know how it's done. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to be talking about Mercury in retrograde when we come back in the second hour of the show. So you want to stay tuned. And, hey, we're going to listen to the top of the hour news. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net.
1,000 pigeons sitting on our tower can't be wrong.
And hundreds of people stopping by our station with Hawaiian shirts sort of notice us.
Don't fly away. Stay right here at Let's Talk Radio for the best talk, news, and entertainment.
No birds were actually harmed in this announcement, although we have had a few thoughts.
WGOG DB Clearwater. Let's talk.
Tiff over tariffs. I'm Steve Rappaport, Fox News. The White House scoffing at threats from the European Union to boost tariffs on American products. The EU taking a stand after the president announced tariffs on steel and aluminum imports last week.
White House trade advisor Peter Navarro on Fox News Sunday appeared to draw a firm line against case-by-case exemptions for tariffs on imported steel and aluminum as he defended the trade tariffs that are likely to hit Canada and Europe the hardest.
The reason why the president is doing this is because if he doesn't do this, we will lose our aluminum industry very quickly and our steel industry very quickly thereafter.
British Prime Minister Theresa May called the president this morning to express her deep concern over the tariffs, noting that multilateral action was the only way to resolve the problem of global overcapacity.
Fox's John Decker at the White House. President Trump upped the ante, threatening to slap tariffs on European cars. A small earthquake rattling Oklahoma and portions of Kansas this evening. There are no reports of damage or injuries from the quake, which has a preliminary magnitude of 4.2. The curtain is up at the Dolby Theater for the 90th Annual Academy Awards.
Perhaps I would just warn you.
The Shape of Water leads the list with 13 nominations heading into the 90th Annual Academy Awards. Dunkirk follows with 8. However, it's been a no-show at other award ceremonies, with 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, with 7 nominations emerging as the front-runner.
Yo, sorry, man. Get out! Yo!
One of the biggest underdogs is Get Out with 4 nods. It's up for Best Picture alongside Call Me By Your Name, Darkest Hour, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, and The Post. Gary Oldman and Frances McDormand, frontrunners in the Best Actor and Actress category.
Fox's Michelle Polino, and as in many award shows previously, there's been plenty of political talk before it even began. Stars discussing gun control, the Me Too movement, and more on the red carpet. Fox News, fair and balanced. As students and teachers from the Florida high school where 17 people were gunned down try to resume normalcy, the investigation into how law enforcement handled the incident continues.
Teachers and students returned this past week to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High, and state lawmakers have voted to subpoena the records of the Broward County, Florida Sheriff's Office. The agency has come under scrutiny in the week since the campus shootings, with people questioning whether or not deputies remained outside the building instead of entering, either on their own or under orders from superiors. There are also questions about how much interaction the department had with the suspected shooter leading up to the day of the incident. In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
Another forced day off tomorrow for students in West Virginia. Striking teachers vowing to stay home until they get the 5% raise they negotiated with the governor. The state Senate cut the increase to 4% Saturday. Monday will be day 8 of that strike. Under suspicion at home, Israel's prime minister hopes for a friendlier audience during his visit to the U.S.
President Trump is expected to meet with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu while he's in the nation's capital for the AIPAC conference, in spite of his questioning by police in a corruption case involving a telecom company in Israel. The AIPAC conference is a time for pro-Israel lobby groups to discuss their agenda for the coming year. Prime Minister Netanyahu is scheduled to speak at the event, along with Vice President Mike Pence and U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley. In Washington, Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
About 1 million homes and businesses from the Mid-Atlantic to the Northeast remain without power after a weekend nor'easter. The storm blamed for at least 11 deaths, including 2 children. A hat trick at the box office.
You're telling me that the king of a third world country runs around in a bulletproof catsuit?
Black Panther remains on top for the 3rd straight weekend, grossing $65.7 million. The Marvel and Disney film already hauling in more than $500 million domestically. I'm Steve Rappaport, Fox News Radio.
Nothing feels better than a good cleanse to wash away the day. If you think that refreshes you, then experience the ultimate cleanse with Soaps by Susan. Cleansing Spiritually LLC uses only pharmaceutical-grade essential oils, all-natural shea butter, coconut oils, and vitamin E, and tailored toward the ultimate cleanse. Susan uses a skin-safe fragrance with an aroma that brings a smile to your face and takes you to that happy place within. Each bar is handcrafted and custom to order, so it not only cleanses the soul, but also matches your room's decor. Cleansing Spiritually soap makes great gifts, or you can just indulge yourself for a spiritual cleansing you'll never forget. You want some now, don't you? We thought so. Contact Susan Todd to place your custom order at facebook.com/spiritually. Don't settle for clean. Get spiritually clean at facebook.com/spiritually. real people and not pre-recorded and regurgitated radio. WGOG DB Clearwater. Let's talk.
Five past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net. And if you are surfing the net and you want to join us in chat, you can go to letstalkradio.net or agangofgirls.com and join us in chat. You can sign in through Facebook, Twitter, or you can sign in as a guest and be mysterious. Yeah, that's fun for you. So, tonight we are talking to Rockin' Reverend Rhonda. It is the Astrology Show. So we're talking astrology, and I have a couple announcements to make, and then we are going to talk about the March Mercury retrograde. Don't go, like that, because you can work around retrograde. We'll talk about that in just a second. All right. So we have announcements. For those of you who are interested in intuitive, paranormal, or spiritual information, you can go to arielgrace.net and click on the Clarity 101 tab. I do try to blog at least once a week there, and that can give you some good info. Also, on March 16th, a psychic story series, Haunted a Psychic Story, I'm Psychic, Not Telepathic, and Angels, a Psychic Story will be going on their Kindle Countdown, their spring one. And so during that time, their prices will start at 99 cents, and they'll go for about 4 days, and then they'll go to $1.99 before they go back to their regular price. So I will send out reminders. You can also join my newsletter at arielgrace.net or agangofgirls.com. And that way you can receive updates on books, videos, radio shows, wherever we may be. So check that out. I am doing, and also you can check out A Gang of Girls radio blog, which is right there at agangofgirls.com. I do blog every week for our guests that are coming up. So you'll want to check that out. And Lucy Prophet, Psychic Girl, again, that is on a Kindle Countdown deal, book 1 and book 2. I believe they are 99 cents right now until tomorrow. So throughout tomorrow and then Tuesday, they go to $1.99. So go check that out. And even if you have a tablet, remember you can download the free Amazon Kindle app, and that way you can read the books from your tablet. Save paper, save trees, save the environment. There you go. I am doing $50 Fridays. That's $50 for 45-minute readings. And I am also doing readings during the other times of the week. So if you want a reading, go ahead and go to a Gang of Girls Inc. at gmail.com. Send me an email. We'll book you in. All right. Now, I am not a psychic medium. I do not assist you with connecting to your loved ones specifically and help you through that time of mourning. However, there are two psychics that are awesome and that I refer people to. One of them is Psychic Theo. You can check him out at psychictheo.com. And Marie St. Louis, you can check her out on Facebook. Just look her up. You can send her a message, and that's how she's taking appointments right now. She is also the author of RSVP from Heaven, which is on Amazon. You can check that out. That is The View from a Psychic Medium. If you need an astrology consult, you can check out Rockin' Reverend Rhonda at karmiclaw.com. She is also the author of Sister Sages Astrological Journey. Remember to send for April's show, if you want a live reading, remember to please send your birth time, place, and date, and a question for Rhonda. You can send that to a Gang of Girls Inc. at gmail.com. That way she can pull your chart up and she can get your reading all ready for you. If you're interested in seeing a medical intuitive, check out Marcella Zenner at marcellaz.com. Okay, so announcements done. So what's up with this March Mercury in retrograde, Miss Rockin' Reverend Rhonda?
Well, for most of us that, are aware of astrology are pretty much aware of the Mercury in retrograde times. Now, I have my newsletter that's going out tomorrow, and I'm giving even more information about Mercury retrogrades. And I agree with you. We can handle these Mercury retrogrades. If you know when they're coming and you know what sign they're going to be in. For example, March 22nd is when this Mercury retrograde begins. Okay. And it will go to April 15th, 2018 in the sign of Aries. That's why some people tend to experience it a little more intensely, if you will, than other months, because it's in a different sign when it's happening. Those who have a lot of Gemini or Mercury in their chart, which I do, I have the dragon's head in Gemini, it may affect you wishy-washy wise in your mind and thoughts and thinking, but it will affect you. But if it's in your sign, like let's say I'm born in January, and if Mercury was in retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, it would be affecting my first house of my innate gifts and abilities. So if you're born in April, this is the one it's affecting for the first house and innate gifts and abilities. It's in Aries. Okay. So what is Mercury in retrograde? We all kind of know it's when the planet appears that it's going backwards. It's the planet of communication, expression, and communication is affected. And why do you think we have it? I mean, if the universe is perfect and divine, and like Ariel said, it's not all bad.
No, it's not.
there really must be a purpose for this to be happening. And right. I share with people, I don't know what all you say, Ariel, because I know people are like, oh gosh, here we go again. But truthfully, it's a time to balance our inner and outer worlds. There's a time to work, a time to play, a time to relax, and regenerate.
Yes.
Introspection time and reflection time. We're always on the go. And it's like Mercury saying, hold on. But there's a time to process and slow down and take in what we've just gone through and process it.
Right.
But most of us don't want to do that. So we try and fight Mercury retrograde when it's here to serve us, truly. And what I like to tell people, this is kind of really interesting, that foggy feeling that people tend to get. What's really happening is that your conscious mind, your everyday awakened mind is more suppressed, and your subconscious mind is actually more alert and open. And that's why we get that foggy feeling. Some people, not everybody, but some people say, I just feel like I hadn't slept, I can't string two sentences together even with a jar of glue, that's why.
Right.
But the good part is the subconscious is being opened. And this is a good time for mediumship.
Yes.
This is a good time to, and I know Ariel has done this in some of her classes, the automatic writing.
Yep.
It's a beautiful time to do this. It's a time to journal, especially your night dreams. I'm giving you guys some really good tips here. Seriously, this is the time to do it. What you have been working on, review it. Is it what you want to do? Take a look at it. Put in front of everything. Review, reread, redo, relook at, reassess. Really. Yes. Everything that you have been going through since the last Mercury in retrograde. So it's serving that purpose, and it's a really good time to journal and write. And most people know that, like when you're making appointments or planes, trains, and automobiles, connecting flights. You may have some delays. You just go through it, you go with it, and try and breathe through it and allow the divine process to do just that. Be divine. Just go through it and breathe through it. Sometimes when you don't fight it, you'll find you'll do a lot better.
Right. No, it is. It is a good time to reflect because I love Mercury in retrograde. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I love it because I do a lot of written word work. And so it does give me an opportunity to go back and say, okay, what needs to be changed? What needs to be updated? And what can I do, to help myself? So, I've learned to, at first, when I first found out what it was, I was like, oh, crud. But now it's like, okay, Mercury's going in retrograde. I know about it. So this is what these are my plans during Mercury in retrograde. So I work with it so that Mercury in retrograde goes smoother.
Right.
And, I'm not like trying to fight lines. I'm not trying to fight, with having to redo dates or rewrite things or, I'm not doing that. If I see something that needs to be fixed, I can go ahead and go in and fix it because it is a good time to also, like you said, do the automatic writing meditation. Oh, totally. Or, I also have another meditation, which is the ancestral clearing meditation. Oh, and that's a good time to start it too. Yep. If you have some stuff, if you need to clear up your ancestry, your bloodlines on your mom or dad's side, that's a good time to start it because that's when the windows are open, connecting with the natural kingdom. That's a great time to do it too because the veils are thin. And right now, even the veils are starting to thin up so that we can connect better with the nature kingdom or with those people who have passed on. So, this is a great time for it, you know? Yeah. So however it affects you. So don't sign any contracts.
Right.
Don't do anything like that. Don't do crazy stuff like that. Don't do any legal things, documents, all that stuff. Either do it right before or after, but do not do any of that kind of stuff during because you'll find that you'll get delays.
You'll get delays. And I think that, I can scoot around it. And one time I tried to order business cards and said, oh, this is going to work. They sent me my new business cards. My name was written wrong. It's like, and you think that you're just, that you're going to conquer this. You're going to beat the Mercury retrograde. No, it's not even worth doing. Don't start anything new, like she said, or make new agreements or anything like that. Right. But if at all possible. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
But if you can put it off, put it off, because you'll have to, if you do make the agreement, most likely you'll have to redo that agreement. So, make sure that that's what's going on. And like Reverend Rhonda said, if you're going to be traveling or anything like that, and if you get a delay, look at your neighbor, say hi, make a new friend.
No kidding. Yeah.
That's, and just be okay with it. Don't get mad and stomp off and yell at people.
Right. And Ariel, is there any way that people can get to your, the one you were just talking about, the meditation thing for the clearing? Could we put that on the, because I know people that would love to have that. Really is a good time.
Yeah, it's on the arielgrace.net website. If you click on meditations and just look on the meditation page, you'll have to scroll down. Scroll down, you'll see it. It's an ancestral clearing meditation. And basically what it does is it assists you with clearing your ancestral line. And a lot of clients do that, and it assists them because, some people think that they have curses or whatever, or, there's some energy that's been brought down through the line and it needs to be cleared up. And it does assist. So it'll help clear it out. It does take a while for it to happen. Okay. So cause you're going to go through your whole lineage, but you'll feel the shift once it hits the end of the lineage.
Right.
So
that is so amazing and so helpful. What a great time to do that. Thanks for mentioning that. It really is a good time to do that.
Right.
Especially with all that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So, we're going to be taking a break, but when we come back, we'll be doing the astrology live readings. So if you have questions for Rhonda, please put them in all caps there in the chat room, so we know that those questions are for us, and she can answer them for you, okay? So here we go. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net.
Talk is our business, and business is good. WGOG Clearwater. Let's talk. Marcella Zinner. Named one of the best intuitive psychics of Tampa Bay, Marcella is ready to change your life. Being a clairvoyant since childhood, Marcella enhanced her natural gifts with a master's degree from the College of Metaphysical Studies and ongoing advanced studies at the Edgar Cayce Foundation. Marcella's passion is to share her gifts with you, with intuitive counseling, past life regressions, Reiki, and empowering workshop events. What are you waiting for? Call 727-785-8780. That's 727-785-8780 to schedule your life-changing appointment with Marcella. Marcella Zinner, intuitive counselor and clairvoyant. Find your answers at marcellaz.com.
Your Monday nights just got better. Tune in to paratalkradio.com. We are your paranormal talk. On the air, on the web, and in the field. We have guests from all over the paranormal world. We discuss ghosts, hauntings, Bigfoot, UFOs, and more. Check us out on Facebook Live on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern at facebook.com/paratalkradio. Remember, wherever there is darkness, there is always the light. paratalkradio.com.
Haunted Voices series by author Claire Jim. Not your average romance novels, the Haunted Voices series intertwines romance with ghost stories. Like an addiction counselor and a security guard struggle to free a little girl and her father. Two lost spirits trapped inside an abandoned mental hospital in Spirits of the Heart. Want more? Then read about a hunky professor in a tweed jacket, a cheeky goth chick, and a pipe-smoking, book-hurling ghost. Put them all together in an antiquated library and, well, you get the book Phantom Traces. Or read about a psychic interior designer who reluctantly agrees to renovate a sexy investor's abandoned hotel in Hearts Unlocked, winner of the 2016 New York Book Festival. The Haunted Voices series by Claire Jim. Buy wherever books are sold or purchase at clairejim.com. The best in paranormal and metaphysical talk radio. WGOG DB. Let's talk.
.23 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net, and it's time for the live astrological readings. Now, if you would like an astrology reading from Rockin' Reverend Rhonda, you can email your info, your birthday, birth time, birthplace, and your question to agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com. And we will get that to Rockin' Reverend Rhonda. So she will be doing those birth dates next month on our April 8th show. We're not going to have a show on Easter because Easter is family day and we need to let everybody be with their families. So the next Sunday on April 8th, we will be doing the astrology show, and that's when she will do your live reading. So first come, first serve. And Rhonda has, I think, 3 live readings tonight, so you can, you can see, like, her style, how she does it and stuff, see if you like it, because it is actually pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's divine astrology.
So who's up first, Rhonda?
This person, her name is Tara. I don't know if it's Tara or Tara.
It's Tara.
Okay. And she's born in February. And the thing I will not do is give out your entire birth date, friends. I'm not going to give out all your personal information on the radio. But this Tara is born in February. Okay. And her question really was more of just a general reading. I really like those, by the way, a general reading. So I pulled up her chart when she was born, and I also connected that with the influences that are going on at the current time. So she's born in the constellation of Aquarius with your sun sign in Aquarius, which right off the bat puts you into what we deem as somebody who is into new thought or an outside of the box thinker. Even if you do not classify, Tara, yourself as such, it is what you have come here in this lifetime to experience. Anything with Aquarius is of bringing the human race forward in a new way and a new thought mentality. When you were born, you inherited the dragon's head in the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is a beautiful sign. It rules natural laws as well as man-made laws. So Sagittarius works in the world of law, legal philosophies, naturopathic concepts, animals, and the great outdoors. So if you think of Sagittarius, its symbol is the centaur. He's half man and half horse, where he has the arrow above his head. He's a truth seeker, and he's seeking truth and honesty, and so that's what that symbol represents. So it is, and a lot of your law enforcement and legal representatives come from a Sagittarian energy.
Well, she's a paralegal.
Well, then there you go.
There you go.
And that's her wheel of fortune when she was born. So she's in the right line of work. And I'm going to say more about that, which really is amazing. Her dragon's tail, however, when she was born, is in the sign of Gemini. And so, Tara, if you're listening out there, your past life was living a dual life, because Gemini, as they say, is the twin. It's right. Duality.
Yep.
And you were a man in past life. You have a lot of past lives as a man. And you have a past life that dwells with the Native American Indians, and also past lives as someone who represented what we would deem today as military or law type of work, more like a military, like a lieutenant kind of thing. And the best way, Tara, I can describe your life, one of your most recent past lives, is to go watch the movie Dances with Wolves, the one with Kevin Costner, where it tells the story of a Union Army lieutenant who travels to the American frontier to find a military post, and of his dealings with the Lakota Indians. And he actually leaves. It's like betrayal. It's like treason. He leaves the military to go join the Native American Indians. Did anybody ever see that movie?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Do you remember when he left?
Yep.
I mean, this is the kind of life that Tara had. So this is where some of that legal thing comes up. And stuff. It's truth and law. And I mean, if you think about the Native American Indians, to me, they operate more of the universal laws. I mean, they use animals for their coats, and I mean, they are just nature, right? I mean, they are
right.
just natural law. So there's that dual force within inside you, Tara, of that same kind of thing. And so if you're into legal work, paralegal or whatever, it's rolled over somewhere into this lifetime. And I really would love to know if you have any of those, like deja vus or any kind of experience out of that. I would love to know. But you really have this, and it's a beautiful chart that you have. And I always like to know if people have, we were talking earlier, Ariel, about deja vu with your past life.
Right.
See, I have it. I have the opposite of her. I have the tail in Sagittarius. And my whole bedroom is done in Native American theme, way before I knew that about my astrological chart. So I was already living it. You know what I mean? I was already doing things. I have baby moccasins in my bedroom, okay? I mean, who in the heck goes out and buys baby moccasins? I got 2 sets of them. But anyway, I would love to know and hear from her if this has affected her in any of those scenarios or energies or ways. But that's what I see so far. I can go on forever when I look at a chart. I can just sit and look at it all day long. Her first house is being affected. By the way, I do want to say this, whether she's listening now or comes back to listen to it. The energies in the universe, the dragon's head in Leo and the tail in Aquarius, the tail's sitting right on top of you, Tara. So it's trying to bring up all your innate gifts and abilities. It's trying to dredge it up. Go new age, go check new things out. That's what it's really trying to tell you to do. Go explore. Go investigate some new things. Okay? So that's for Tara. Good luck to Tara. Okay. So that's that one.
Yay. Who's up next?
I get on a roll here. I get very excited. Okay. The next one, I believe her name's Shelley. It's spelled different. Mm-hmm. So, and Shelley, you're born in June, and your question was regarding a TV show and a court case. So let me say this. First off, you're born in the constellation of Gemini, and your sun sign is in Gemini. Having Gemini in your first house and Sagittarius in your 7th house puts you in a good place for the type of industry that you love. If it's TV, radio, writing, photography, that's just to name a few, of things that you're naturally good at. So I'm answering part of your question as far as TV and networks and stuff like that. So just know that you're in the right arena for career.
Right.
Yeah. And she has, Shelley, you got Pisces in your 10th house of career, which rules psychic ability, the arts, the theater, playwriting, all of that. Pisces is a very spiritual and dramatic sign. So you're in a wonderful field if you do anything with that. And anybody who's born in March will benefit you in your 10th house of career. Okay, because March is Pisces, and that's your 10th house of career, being born in June. And when I say that, I like to say that you want to make sure that their vibration and energy matches yours. You don't want to be like first grade and going out with, you want to be, let's say that you're a senior in high school. You don't want to go out with a second grader from elementary school.
Right.
You really want to be with people that are really on the same wavelength as you. I really like to highlight that because some people get the out of balance relationships going on. But Pisces is your 10th house of career. So here's my question about anything to do with court cases and law cases, because we were just talking about Mercury retrograde. I'd love to know when if you signed anything. Was it during a Mercury retrograde?
No.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
Because
no, it wasn't.
Okay. Because if she did, then I was going to come back to something that could be beneficial. And legal representation. Was this done verbally? Was there legal representation? Did you have paperwork drawn up? Did you have lawyers?
Yes.
And okay. Now after that, if you signed or agreed to anything on or before December 19th, 2017, if it was before that, then Saturn was sitting in your 7th house of business partners and contracts at that time. So I don't know when you signed, okay? And that's important because that Saturn, people that know about Saturn, is very rigid and strict. Where the I's dotted, T's crossed, and all of that. So if you signed after December 19th, 2017, where things sit today, now, if it was after that, you're in the world of your 8th house of legacy, and where lawsuit settlements and things of that nature and corporate monies are being affected. And even if you didn't sign it after December 19th, that's what's being affected right now. Your Saturn now is sitting in your 8th house of Capricorn. Okay. So when you look at your 8th house, you not only have Saturn in Capricorn right now, you have Pluto in Capricorn. So what that means is that Saturn is a very rigid and karmic. Now, Shelley, you could probably be the most honest person in the world. I don't know who you're dealing with on the other end. And I'm hoping that these people's intentions are good, because this can be cleaned up. This can be taken care of. And what if there is a holdup, what is a holdup? Seriously, what is the holdup? So, but that Saturn makes it for very, what's the word? Detailed, methodical, fine-tuned comb, you know what I mean? Just really, really, it's like slugging through molasses. And so make sure you have witnesses, make sure you have everything. So, but I don't know what's on the other end. We're dealing with alchemy here. If we had their charts and what the influences was on the day that you signed and all that, I mean, then we're looking at, another bigger picture. But why this is not being resolved? If you have witnesses, you got it in writing. Why? I don't know, but I'm telling you that the Saturn and Pluto in your 8th house of legacy, it can just, I hope it doesn't prolong and protract it. That's what I'm hoping. It's not.
Right.
And I don't know why it's not being resolved. If you got documents, why? If there was money, and 8th house also rules monies. If there was money involved, even more with this Saturn in Capricorn in your 8th house. I mean, what happened there? What broke down?
Right. A lot of things broke down with this, and you are right in a lot of that, of what you said. And so there is a lot of methodical stuff going on, or was, and now the lawyers have it and are taking care of it. So we'll have to see what the outcome is.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if it was signed under a Mercury retrograde and we're coming back around on one, see, this is what people don't know. This is where Merc can actually be into your graces and benefit, is that it say, okay, we signed it during a Merc and there was some, a little bit of whatever, chaos and misunderstanding. Then you can come back around to this Mercury retrograde and say, let's get this resolved. And it still may even happen using this Mercury retrograde. It slows people down. Let's review this. And so, and February and August are changing months, but, you also have the dragon's head in Capricorn. So, you got that detailed and methodical, analytical side of yourself too, Shelley. So I hope you have your papers in order, girl. Have them in order, girl. Have your witnesses. Come on now. Come on.
Yeah, she does. She's got it going on. She does.
Keep me informed. I want to know. There's no reason that then this should be, being, protracted and prolonged. So, come on, people.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's going to be protracted and prolonged.
Oh, good.
At all. So we have We have about 8 minutes, 7 minutes or so. What's your third girl?
I don't have another girl. I got Theo.
Oh, Theo. Oh.
Yeah. Theo, let me say this because it looks like a birthday's coming up. Not giving out your birthday, but happy early birthday. Happy solar return to you. And let me just say, okay, what's cool right now in your chart, and your question is, I'm going to give you a little bit of a general reading because it's your birthday, and I understand something about moving, okay? But let me say this. From the get-go, your chart does not show a move. It does not. It does not mean, however, you can't move. You're a grown-up adult. You can move if you want to.
Right.
It's just not saying that your home and career area are going through a major change. What is going through a change is your subconscious and your service to the world a little bit, which we've talked about before, and your world of friendships, because you got Saturn and Pluto in your 11th house of original experiences and friends. So you are going through a change in that regard. Friends. And what is cool right now, though, in your chart is when you were born, you had the Sun, Mercury, and Venus. And today you have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Neptune all sitting in your first house of Pisces, which is called a stellium because there's 3 or more luminaries and planets in a sign. It's a stellium. And with this, Theo, I'm going to encourage you for the month of March, especially this month, is to utilize all your gifts and talents of what you love to do. And the reason is wherever the sun is sitting, it wants you to shine, and it's sitting right on top of your innate gifts and abilities. So it wants you to shine, and it wants you to do what you love to do. And and I know we've talked about this before, but if you are dwelling in the world of psychic work, the arts, writing, composing even, any imagination or dramatic acting, dream work is also very good. Is so highly encouraged right now, because that's what Pisces is, by the way. And if you know or have heard of Ron Howard, which most people have, the actor, the filmmaker, his company is called Imagine Entertainment. And imagination and imagine is a Pisces word.
Yeah.
And energy. Isn't that interesting? Mm-hmm. And guess what? Ron Howard was born on March 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he's a genuine Pisces through and through, and he dwells in the world of imagination. I mean, his cinematography is amazing. I mean, I loved his movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I mean,
yes.
That's a Pisces movie, by the way, or show. So you got it going on, Theo. You do. Enjoy the sun and the solar return sitting in your first house. But again, sorry, the move is just not really showing there. But you can move if you want to. Nobody's stopping you. Just don't do it, though, Theo, during a Mercury retrograde. Trust me, that ain't fun.
Yeah, that won't be fun. And I do feel like, he's got a lot of stuff set up for March. So yeah, he does. He's got a lot of things going on in March, events and different things. So he's going to be rocking through March. And I feel like that is great for him because he always does really well wherever he goes. I mean, he rocks it.
Yeah.
So
a lot of gifts and abilities.
Yep. Now, so if you all out there in Radio Land, surfing the net, doing what you're doing, if you want a live reading from Rockin' Reverend Rhonda for the April 8th show, please remember to send us your birth date, your birth time, your birthplace, and your question to agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com. And that way you can get your live reading next month. She does about, 3 or 4 live readings in the second hour of the show. And we can get you all set up. She actually pulls your chart up before the show. She does a lot of work before the show. So she pulls your chart up before the show. She checks it out and she focuses on your question so that she can answer it as clearly as she can. If you want an intuitive consult by Rockin' Reverend Rhonda, you can check out karmiclaw.com. And she has a nice website there, if you want to download her book, Sister Sages Astrological Journey, you can do that there as well. There are signed copies. She'll sign a copy and throw it out there to you. So check that out. It is a good book. It's a good book because it's a practical book. It's a very clear written book about astrology. It doesn't have a lot of fancy words in it that you won't understand. So it is. It's very practical. And I liked it because of that, because some of the astrological terms confuse me. So check her out, karmiclaw.com. You're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net. When we come back, we're going to be talking more astrology. All right, stay tuned.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has delivered a one-of-a-kind reading experience, covering everything from psychics, UFOs, paranormal investigations, and more. To subscribe, visit fatemag.com or call 828-702-3032. That's 828-702-3032. Subscribe and find your true reports of the strange and unknown at fatemag.com.
There are thousands of health and beauty products on the market these days, but how many can you say are truly natural? The name says it all. And Naturally by Darla is here to humbly serve, guide, and help to heal all individuals seeking a more natural way of living. NaturallyByDarla.com provides a wide variety of products and services like essential oils, soaps, balms and salves, powerful mists, and ancient healing techniques. Curious yet? We thought so, and invite you to visit our website, naturallybydarla.com, or call 847-334-1580. That's 847-334-1580. Naturallybydarla.com. Humbly serving for over 10 years. Naturally. When it absolutely, positively has to be the best. WGOG DB Clearwater. Let's talk.
.47 past the hour, and you're listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net and agangofgirls.com. So we have been doing the astrology show tonight. We hope that we have enlightened you and expanded you, and it was very fun for you. This is fun for Rhonda and I to plan these shows for you, give you the info that is for the month, and help you understand what's going on, because astrology is nature. It's natural. You know, it's not something that's far-flung and made up. Right? It has ancient history, right, Rhonda?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's divine. Since the inception of time and space, which there is no time and space, but yes, it's divine. Natural.
And so that's the other reason why we do the astrology show, is to help you understand how nature works. Because nature is awesome and divine. So yes. It is. It's awesome. All right, Rhonda. So what you got going on? You know, where can people find you? What are you doing?
What's going on?
What's going on? Are you signing books? Are you going to go out and shake hands and kiss babies?
Yes, I am, as a matter of fact. I've been cleared to drive, everybody, so get off the street. First, I wanted to thank you, Ariel, for allowing me to talk about my new book. I'm a contributing author and sponsor to Chocolate and Diamonds for a Woman's Soul. That's coming out March 8th, as Ariel has allowed me to share that. Please go buy that book, you guys. I mean, you can't beat 99 cents. Download it, enjoy all the stories, and share it with loved ones. I don't know if anybody has heard yet. My newsletter's going out tomorrow. I'm mentioning it for the first time. I've been asked to write for the April issue for Let's Talk magazine. So I will be having an article written in that magazine called Let's Talk Magazine. We'll have more information on how to, on Facebook and everything, and how to go and get that. And it will be for the April issue and how to go and retrieve that article. But I'm going to be talking about, for that article, like the beginning and the basics, which I think is really good for a first-time article for a magazine of divine astrology. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And I'd like for everyone to go to karmiclaw.com. On the right-hand side of karmiclaw.com, you'll see services. Click on that. And if you want a live reading with me through Skype or by phone, I have that all at the very top of that page on the services page. You can do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. I don't have specials right now because I was recovering for surgery. But who knows? You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. Next week, next month. and they are done by appointment. And I think when you go and select and put all your information in, it will allow you to select a date and see if we can work that date out. So karmiclaw.com, click on services. Right on the right-hand column, you'll see that. Like I said, my newsletter for March is going out tomorrow morning. So please, if you haven't yet, I'm talking about these eclipses and some tips and other good pieces of information. Go to karmiclaw.com. On the right-hand side, click newsletter. Go down and just put your name in and press submit, and then you'll start retrieving the newsletters. If you want to buy my book, you can go to karmiclaw.com, click on publishing, and select choices. If you want a signed copy, I would be happy to send you a signed copy. Or Amazon Kindle, you can download it. I also would like to encourage you, because I keep everybody updated on the radio shows, and Ariel does, on my Spiritual Laws and Practices Facebook group. So maybe Mike can put that up there. He can copy paste that. It's Spiritual Practices group on Facebook, and join that. Because we talk about laws of attraction, astrology, we talk about all kinds of stuff. And if you have any questions, go to karmiclaw.com and press the contact button and send me a message. Even if there's something you want Ariel and I to talk about on the radio show. I love ideas. I mean, if there's something in particular that, you guys want to know about, or if I can help with something, please send me a message. Ariel, of course, a message. And hey, who knows? You never know what.
You never know with us.
Yes, girl. Yeah.
So, and like I said before too, we're going to be doing the astrology show in April, on April 8th. We're going to take Easter Sunday off because it's family day, and you all should be visiting and, hugging and squeezing your family. So we'll be doing our astrology show next month, April 8th. Let us know what you want to know about astrology, just like Rhonda said, because we're open to new ideas, and we're open to what you want to know. What do you want to know? Let us know. Because, then we can figure it out and let you know. All right. So is that all of your announcements, Rockin'
Yes.
Reverend Rhonda?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, cool. Okay, so we do have some awesome shows here on letstalkradio.net. We have some awesome advertising opportunities. It's our March Madness sale. So if you're selling, anything, and you want like over 30,000 people to know about it, then check out our March Madness advertising thing. It is, you can click on the advertising tab, just scroll down, check it out, see what's there. Todd has posted a March Madness sale on Facebook. So if you see that, click on it and, check out what he's got going on there, because he's the creator of it. He's the one that does all your production work in that, because his production work is rockin'. All right? Yes. So we do have some awesome shows here on letstalkradio.net. And for your listening pleasure, we have on Monday night, Surviving Evidence with Chris and Phil. Keeping the Spirits Alive on Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern with John Tobin. Haunted Voices Radio Tuesday nights, 9 Eastern with Todd Bates. And Paranormal Experienced on Wednesday nights at 8 Eastern with Kat Hobson. She's rocking too. And Path of Discovery is with Lisa Birkeland, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. Ghost Talk Radio with Shelley on 8 p.m. Eastern Friday nights. Fate Radio with Todd Bates, Friday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, A Gang of Girls Radio with Ariel Grace at 8 p.m. on Sunday nights. So check out our website, letstalkradio.net. You can check out everybody that is on there. If you want your own radio show and feel like you can do this, you can give Todd a little contact info there at letstalkradio.net so that he can get back to you. And we will we'll help you out there, because it's very fun for us. All right. We love doing what we do, and he likes doing what he does too. Yeah. So you can see him smiling every once in a while. Also, I'd like to let the peeps know too, if you have an event that you would like me to announce in the second hour of the show, and it's a community event that will assist with the community, please let me know. Send me the information. You'll have to email it to me at agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com so that I can put it in for the second hour of the show. So we have had an awesome astrology show tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourselves very much. And you've been listening to A Gang of Girls Radio on letstalkradio.net. This is Ariel Grace. Everyone, have a wonderful week. Keep your hearts open and align with the energy of love. Good night, everyone.